Hello, this is Andrine, Jewish American Priestess, and today is the Winter Solstice in the Northern Hemisphere. And I wanted to do a reading today, and I turned over my altar cloth and changed up my settings here. I'm not exactly sure how that reading should look, but I think I'm just going to take a handful of the Hebrunes and toss them into this incantation bowl and see how they show up. I'm going to move my candle over here onto the mirror, and then let's just see if we can get a little bit of insight into what's being released in the darkness and what's being called in the light today. And let's just reach in and grab a little handful. I'm not going to do the whole set, but I'm going to do a little handful, drop them into the bowl, and see how they land. Most of them landed upside down, so I'm going to turn them over. Let me zoom in a little bit and maybe bring this down as well. There we go. Okay. So the only letter that I see facing up right now is the letter Kaf, and it's near the top here. I'm going to turn it so that it faces upright. It's the palm of a hand. It's the hand of the indwelling divine, the Shekhinah, who is shielding over us. And it's the sun in the sky. It rules over the sun in the sky. So perfect that it's here at the top, kind of low on the horizon, coming back. The sun is returning. So that's one of the things that jumps right out at me, that we have the sun here, that we have the hand of the Shekhinah who's sheltering over us and also lifting us up with the palm of her hand. That balance between give and take, that binary transformation between wealth and poverty. So we're dealing with that. We're releasing our need to overextend ourselves and calling in the ability, the capacity to give what we can without harming ourselves, and knowing that the sun is here, coming back even as it sets at this time of the evening. So we'll leave the sun at the top. In the center we have this letter, the letter Mem, the mother letter of water. And the mother letter of water is here to remind us that we are in the midst of this wet season. In the Northern Hemisphere, we're in the winter, and Mem represents the winter in the year. This mother letter of water, the Mayim Chaim, the waters of life, begins the word mikvah, which means a cleansing bath, ritual bath. The goddess priestess Miriam, who is the one who ushered Moses through the water and also danced as they reached the far side of the Red Sea in the Exodus from Egypt. Mem is the number 40, and it corresponds to that 40 weeks of gestation in the human body when we are pregnant with something. And it looks a little bit like a womb space as well. So it's got this container with the opening at the bottom here, the birth canal. So we're in this gestation time, this nourishing in the amniotic fluid, this wandering in the wilderness, the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, the 40 days on Mount Sinai as we go up to receive revelation is right here in the center. Oh, and at that moment, as I said that, this candle extinguished itself. So something is extinguishing and something new is coming in. So Mem is at the center of our reading with the sun over the top of it. As we go further down and to the left, we have the letter Samek. Samek is the letter that corresponds to the month of Kislev. Here we are in this very month, coming up on Hanukkah next week. And Kislev is this letter Kislev is this month of dreaming, and Samek is the letter that is representing being surrounded like with a big hug, being supported, It's got this little thorn in the upper left corner, which is sort of a vestigial thorn from the ancient Proto-Hebrew, where the samach looked like a thorn, setting up good boundaries and protections for ourselves. So we're surrounding ourselves with family, with love, with protection and good boundaries, and maybe a little bit of agitation and irritation in this time of Kislev, in this dark time of dreaming. It's beautiful. And a little further down, again, everything's face down. We have the letter Shin. Shin upside down at the bottom, face down. Shin is the mother letter of fire. And we are fire within water right now. So lighting up the candles in the wet season, lighting up those Hanukkah candles, lighting up the lights, trying to find our spark in the darkness. Shin represents the summer in the year. It's the complete opposite side of the calendar at this time. So it's hidden down here at the bottom, that Shin upside down, turned over in the very lower part of our reading. But it's still here underneath it all. The shalom, that wholeness, the Shekhinah, the indwelling presence, the Shuva, the return to ourselves. It may be hidden, but it's here underneath it all. I love that in this reading. We got two more letters at the bottom. I'll go with the one that's on top first. We have the Chet. Chet is the letter that represents Choshek, darkness, and Chai, life. It's contracts and commitments, a chuppah, a marriage canopy, and the number 8, representing the infinite. The infinite, the infinite one, the divine themselves, and that potential for time moving on, even in the darkness. After the 7 days of creation, we get the 8, which is the rest of eternity. So darkness here at the bottom as well. And we're letting that go. We're releasing the darkness and letting the light come back in. I love that. We've got that right down here at the bottom, face down, in this reading for the solstice today. And let's see what our final letter is at the very bottom. And we have Tzadi. Tzadi is the letter that corresponds to the month of Shvat. And it is the month that has the new year of the trees. It's got the, looks a little bit like a tree. And Tzadi represents justice. It represents justice and righteousness, tzaddik and tzedek. And it's got this sense of new beginning because the trees have the sap rising at Tu B'Shvat. That's a couple months away at this point. But it has this sense of the Asherah, the goddess herself, that dwells within the trees. So right now we're out looking at where the trees are bare, and they look naked right now. But underneath the ground, roots are growing and buds are setting already, and we know that the fruit will be coming in the springtime. The tribe of Asher is affiliated with the letter Tzadi, and it also corresponds, therefore, to the Asherah, who is the goddess who dwells within the trees. So again, hidden at the bottom, upside down in our reading, the Asherah, the idea of justice coming, the idea of, this is again the 90, so like the 9 months of gestation times 10. So a big gestation is just under the surface here, coming up in the future. So that's something we can call in as we move into the light. What a beautiful little reading for this solstice. So we're seeing the sun coming back. We're in this time of winter and gestation and water. We're being surrounded with love, maybe a little bit of agitation, but knowing that we have good boundaries around protecting ourselves. The Shekhinah, the fire, is underneath the water right now and is being lit up to bring us warmth in the wet season. The darkness is diminishing with the Chet, and justice is coming with the birthday of the trees in a couple of months, that we can call in and know that the Asherah is here to bring us oxygen and to bring us fruit eventually as we come into the new year. So happy solstice to all. And I hope that the darkness serves to give definition to the light as you come into this time. And I hope you have a beautiful solstice. I hope you have a beautiful holiday. And hopefully we'll see you next reading, probably around Hanukkah.